Namaskar learners, I am Dr. Chunnu Prasad, Academic Officer Political Science. I welcome you to the subject of social science. Today we are going to discuss on the topic local government and field administration. Dear learners, mostly we will try to understand what is local government in village and cities, efforts of the people to strengthen the democracy through local government, structure and functions of the local government in India, and we will see both rural as well as urban. We also try to understand what is 73rd and 74th amendment of constitution and the steps taken towards women empowerment, and try to understand what is the necessity and importance of different officers at different levels of field administration for assisting the representative for better functioning of local government and the role of local government in our daily life. Dear learners, you must have listened about the Gram Panchayat and municipal committees. These two bodies work for the development of villages and cities. And recently, if you remind, you must have listened about the elections of these bodies being held in different states through radio, television and different other means of communications. We know that the union government works at the central level and the state government works at the state level. Dear learners, it is the feature of a federal government that two governments are ruling at the same set of population. In India, a new level of government, that is local self-government, has been added as a third level of government to address and deal with the local problem of the village or a city. We can say that there is one government for the whole nation or the country, and that is called the union government, consisting of President of India and the Prime Minister of India. Then we come 29 states government for the 29 states of India with governor and the chief minister of the state concerned. After this comes the third level of government under each and every state government. The level is called the local self government, whereas in villages, Gram Panchayats are working for the development of the village, so are the municipal bodies working in the cities. Let us talk about both separately. We will find that many functions of the both are common as so as they are working. Let us first take the local self government at the village level. The system working in the rural area is called Panchayati Raj system. Panchayats had been very popular in India for resolving the local disputes and problems. The directive principles of state policy also recommended for promotion of Panchayati Raj system in rural areas. But in 1992, two amendments were made in the Constitution of India. The 73rd amendment of the Constitution has given constitutional status to Panchayati Raj system, and under this act, the Panchayati Raj system has the following features. What are the features? Establishment of three-tier structure for Panchayati Raj system. It means that there shall be Gram Panchayat at village level, a Panchayat Samiti at intermediate level, or for a block or village and Jila Panchayat at a district level. Now, the second important feature is elections for those local bodies are to be held regularly after every 5 years. If at any time due to one reason or the other Gram Panchayat does not exist, then its elections are to be held within 6 months of the dissolution. Now, the third important feature is the reservation of seats for scheduled caste, scheduled tribes population according to their proportion. Another important feature in this act is reservation of 1/3 seats and post of women all the level of the panchayat. And this feature gave a chance to women to participate actively and also become an instrument of women empowerment. And this act also recommends for establishment of State Finance Commission to improve the and finance the local self government. This act also recommends for establishment of State Election Commission to conduct the election for all the local self bodies. So, learners, all these features gave importance to Panchayati Raj system, and now it is mandatory for every state government to hold election for the different institutions of the local self government. Now, establishment of Gram Sabha and its empowerment as a decision making body at the village level is another important feature. every adult member of the village is the member of Gram Sabha and can participate in the proceedings of the Gram Panchayat. Now, the 73rd Amendment Act gives power and authority to Panchayati Raj institutions to enable them to function effectively. This act contains provision for devolution of power and responsibilities related to preparation of plans for economic development and social justice, and also for implementation of such schemes for economic development and social justice as may be entrusted to them. Now, it is for your knowledge that due to this amendment, 232,278 panchayats at village level, 6022 block samitis at intermediate level and 535 Jila Parishads at district level have been constituted, and about 29.2 lakhs elected representatives are managing these institutions. In other words, this amendment has strengthened the people's participation in the governance and also the working of democracy. Now, let us try to know about the various functions of the panchayats and also about the sources of their income. Under this hand, let us be familiar with the organization of the Gram Panchayat. Gram Panchayat is the grassroots institution of Panchayati Raj system. Gram Sabha and Gram Panchayat have an elected chairperson who is called Gram Pradhan. Gram Sabha has been recognized a legal body. It holds at least 2 meetings in a year. In the first meeting, it considers the budget of the Gram Sabha, and in the second meeting, reports of the Gram Panchayat are considered. Now, Gram Panchayat is the executive committee of the Gram Sabha. In the most of the states, a village panchayat have 9 members who are called panchas. In some of the panchayats, representatives of women has been increased to 50%, and Sarpanch is directly elected by all the voters of the panchayat. Sarpanch is responsible for holding the monthly meeting of the panchayat. Now, Sarpanch can also call a special meeting of the panchayat within 3 days, requested for a meeting. He or she keeps the record of the meeting, and every panchayat is elected term of 5 years. Now, learners will try to discuss functions of the Gram Panchayat. Now, major functions of the Gram Panchayat are about the development of the village and welfare of the people. Gram Panchayat works for the provision of safe drinking water, paving of streets, maintaining good drainage system, ensuring cleanliness of the village, provisions of street lights and dispensaries, and so on and so forth. These functions are obligatory and need priority. Some other discretionary functions can also be performed if the panchayat has the resource and funds to perform activities, such as maintaining of playground for sports, setting and running library, plantation of trees, etc. For performing these functions, every panchayat needs funds, and state government and union government provide grant in aid to the panchayats to raise their resources to accomplish the important work. Panchayat do have their own source of income through taxes on property, land and goods, rent collected for the panchayat building such as rent of the Barat Ghar or any other property, different types of fines collected of the defaulters. A part of the land revenue is given to the panchayat, and also through donation collected for the interested rich people. So, these are the method through which the funds are collected. Now, then comes the middle tier, that is of Panchayati Raj, which is called Panchayat Samiti. Now, Panchayat Samitis are named differently in different states. Somewhere Panchayat Samitis are called block Samitis. Every Panchayat Samiti has all the Sarpanchas or chairperson of the Gram Panchayat. Coming under its jurisdiction as its member, MPs, MLAs and MLCs of the block are also the member of the Panchayat Samiti. Now, some members are directly elected and others are the elected members of the Jila Parishad belonging to the block. Some officers of the block are also the member of the Panchayat Samiti. Now, the term of the Panchayat Samiti is also 5 years. In the very first meeting, Panchayat Samiti, chairperson and the vice chairperson of the Samiti are elected by the members. Now, Panchayat Samiti hold 6 meetings in a year with gap of not more than 2 months. and block development officer is the chief administrative officer of the Panchayat Samiti. Now, we will try to understand the Panchayat Samiti perform some important functions. So, what are the important functions Panchayat Samitis they are performing? Panchayat Samiti perform functions such as land improvement, agriculture, watershed development and farm forestry. It also promotes and coordinates different development programs of the area such as safe drinking water, construction of new roads, framing rules and regulation for the farmers and the markets, provision of fertilizer and pesticide to the farmers, promotion of cottage industries, welfare of scheduled castes and scheduled tribes and promotion of self-employment scheme in the rural areas. Now, Panchayat Samiti gets grant in aid by the state government and can also levy the taxes to raise the funds. Now, the third tier of the Panchayati Raj system is the Jila Parishad. It is the apex body in Panchayati Raj system and has a term of 5 years. Jila Parishad has some directly elected members, MPs and MLAs belonging to the district and some government officials are the members. Now, Jila Parishad works for providing essential services and functions for the rural population, planning and executing the development programs for the districts. Now, Jila Parishad do have a major role to provide improved seeds, new techniques of farming, construction of small scale irrigation projects, setting and running of schools, primary health center and taking care of public property. Now, Jila Parishad also need money to perform the assigned task. Jila Parishad can raise funds by levying taxes, license fees and market fees, income from various properties of the Jila Parishad, grants from the state and central government and form a share in the collected rent revenue. Now, thus we can understand that all the 3 tiers of local self government have one function in common, that is to look after the need of the rural population and to provide them all basic needs to the life. All the tiers are interdependent and also complement the work of each other. Now, the most important benefit of the local government is to have a first hand knowledge of the need of the people, knowledge of the possible resources, can plan better to fulfill the needs of the people, and local bodies provide for the people participation, which leads to the successful functioning of the democracy. On the line of the local bodies for the rural area, there are local bodies of self governance in the urban areas also. Even there 3 type of local bodies are constituted, and the type of local body depends upon the size of the population of the city. Now, big cities have municipal corporation as the unit for local governance, but smaller towns have municipal councils, and the cities where are under the period of transition from villages to cities are provided with Nagar Panchayat. All the 3 types of urban local bodies have more or less the same functions to provide safe drinking water, well illuminated streets, better drainage system, pakka streets, community hall and schools for primary education along with medical facilities in form of dispensaries. Now, in big cities, municipal corporation do have some additional functions such as provision of parking place for the vehicles, local transport for the populations, cycle trackers for cyclists, constructing and maintaining of parks, library and community centers. We can divide the various functions of municipal corporation in 2 parts. One is called compulsory functions and other is called discretionary functions. The functions related to health and sanitation, electricity and water supply, education, public work, maintenance of records of birth and death, provision and maintenance of cremation ground, night shelter, parking place and facilities are the compulsory functions. But functions like construction of park, auditorium, organized music drama or any other entertainment program, provisions of playground for various games and community halls, Bharat Ghars and running welfare schemes are called the discretionary functions, which may be organizing of the resources of the corporation allow. Now, it is important to know about the organizational structure of a municipal corporation. Members of the corporation are elected directly, but the head of the municipal corporation, who is called mayor, is the elected by the elected members of the corporation. Mayor is called the first citizen of the city and proceeds over the meeting of the corporation and maintains decorum and discipline in the meeting. She or he act like a bridge between corporation and the state government. We all know that to perform the functions for the development of the cities, municipal corporation do need financial reasons. Along with the grants in aid from the state and union government, municipal corporation imposes taxes and have a regular income from these taxes such as house tax, property tax, charges on the supply of water and electricity, different license fees and income fees, rent of various shops, community center or other properties. Local municipal bodies of government in smaller cities are called municipal councils. Their functions are more or can the same as that of municipal corporation. Health and sanitation, safe drinking water, supply of electricity, maintenance and running of primary schools, paving of streets and provision of public facilities, keeping the record of birth and deaths. Now, municipal councils have the regular source of income such as taxes on properties, vehicle and advertisements, charges on water supply and electricity, license fee, rent of the community center, Barat Ghar and shops etc., and fines on different offences or violations. Now, the new upcoming cities which are in the transition state for village to urban cities have Nagar Panchayats, which also is a municipal body. These Nagar Panchayats also perform the functions of cleanliness, supply of clean drinking water, the supply of electricity, maintenance of street lights and paving of streets. Nagar Panchayats also levy taxes on houses and charges from supply of water and electricity. Nagar Panchayats also get same grant in aid from state government or central government. In nutshell, we understand that the 73rd and 74th amendment has laid to a strong foundation of the third tier of democracy. 73rd amendment is for rural local bodies and 74th amendment is for urban local bodies. Now, there are three levels of governance both for the urban and rural people. In addition, with the local bodies of governance, there are important officers in the administration. The administrative officer and the whole of the administrative machinery contribute to the functional or the local bodies. The key officers at the district level are district magistrate, superintendent of police, district education officer, district forest officer and a few others. Let us try to understand some of the important offices of the district administration. First of all, we shall know that the district magistrate, who is the head of the district administration, in different states district magistrate are known as different names such as deputy commissioner, district collector or upayukta. He or she belongs to Indian Administrative Services. Nowadays, district administration is responsible not only for collection of revenues or taxes or maintenance of law and order, but is also responsible for various welfare activities and socio-economic development of the district. Now, other than this, what are the important functions of the district magistrate? District magistrate broadly tries to maintain the law and order and ensure peace in the district. To implement the programs and policies of the state government, district magistrate try to act like a link or bridge between district level institutions and the state government. It try to coordinate the working of different departments working in a district. District magistrate take care of people and property during emergencies and disasters. District magistrate also conduct free and fair election for various elected bodies such as Lok Sabha, Vidhan Sabha, Jila Parishad, Gram Panchayat. He or she also try to manage collection of funds and taxes and perform judicial functions by deciding on the disputes, and also the most important function of the district magistrate is to listen the grievances of the people. Now, the function shows the importance of the district magistrate of a district. Now, another important officer of the administration is sub-divisional officer or called SDO. Every district is divided into sub-division and blocks or talukas. So, SDO is there to assist the district magistrate in the field of administration. SDO may belong to Indian Administrative Service or state civil services. keeps the land record and also the record of land revenue. Many a license and certificate are made by the SDO. For example, driving license, arms, weapons, weapon license or certificate regarding domicile, scheduled caste or scheduled tribe or other backward classes are issued by SDO. Now, the third important officer is block development officer. He or she is the ex officio secretary of the Panchayat Samiti and looks after the various activities of the block. Now, VDO keeps the record of the meeting, prepares budget and coordinates various developmental activities of the district and block. The local bodies of government provide a chance to the people to actively participate in the decision making processes. Though participation and also being a part of the process, people get political education and also take interest to highlight the problem of the people and also think about the resolution of such problems. Reservation of seats and posts for women, scheduled castes and scheduled tribes have provided them opportunity to show their ability and capability. Side by side, this third tier of government has posed many new challenges. Aspirations and expectation of the people have been aroused, but resources do not match the requirement. Even poverty, illiteracy, casteism and money power have also contributed to enhance the problem. It is very important to raise the income and resources of the local bodies so that these bodies may prove their worth. Local bodies help us from cradle to graveyard. So, such bodies should be given the required resources so that needs, aspirations and expectations of the people may be realized. So, learners, let us summarize what we discuss and what we try to understand. Local self-government in India is the third tier, the first and the second being the central government and the state government. There are two sets of local government bodies, one for rural areas and the other for urban areas. Panchayati Raj system is for rural areas and municipal corporation. Municipal councils and Nagar Panchayats are in urban areas, although setting up a village panchayat was mandated by the directive principles of state policy. Local government bodies got constitutional status by the 73rd and 74th Constitutional Amendment Act passed by the Parliament in 1992. The amendment made it mandatory for all state government to have local government bodies and to ensure that they function effectively and continuously. Over and above reserving seats for scheduled castes, scheduled tribes and other backward sections, this act promote empowerment of women by reserving seats for them. Panchayati Raj system is a three-tier system having Gram Panchayat at village level, Panchayat Samiti at intermediate or block level and Jila Parishad at district level. And these institutions work for the welfare and socio-economic development of the people of their respective areas. They also provide basic facilities such as safe drinking water, sanitation, dispensaries, paving of lands and roads, primary schools, old age home and other local needs of the area. The urban local bodies, municipal corporation in big cities, municipal council in smaller cities and Nagar Panchayats in transitional area have been strengthened by the 74th Constitutional Amendment Act 1992. Like Panchayati Raj institution, they have also reserved seats for scheduled caste, scheduled tribe and other backward sections, as well as for women. The local bodies provide basic facilities to the people, develop and maintain infrastructure, conduct developmental activities and look after the welfare of the people of their representative or respective areas. Both rural and urban local bodies are closest to the people and function as the truly grassroots democratic institutions. They provide opportunity to the people to be a part of the decision making process. They have challenges like casteism, corruption, shortage of needed financial resources and indifferences of the people. The district administration headed by the district magistrate not only perform traditional functions of maintaining law and order and collection of revenues, but also does significant development work. It is the real implementation tool for the implementation of development and welfare programs.
हिंदुस्तान के हर कोने में नौजवानों के पास प्रतिभा है, उन्हें अवसर चाहिए।
NIOS देता रहा है युवाओं को अवसर आगे बढ़ने का। NIOS से पढ़ने वाले इन युवाओं ने किया है संस्थान को गौरवान्वित। दिव्यांगों ने बन के दिखाया है सबल और आत्मनिर्भर। NIOS के साथ आप भी जुड़िए NIOS के संग।
जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने, राहों को आलोकित करने, हम अपना दीपक स्वयं बने, हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने। हम अपना दीपक स्वयं बने, हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने। जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने, राहों को आलोकित करने।
धन साधन समय की सीमा से विद्यालय जो मुक्त हो, धन साधन समय की सीमा से विद्यालय जो मुक्त हो।
कभी पढ़े हम कहीं पढ़े, वे विषय की लोच से युक्त हो।
कभी पढ़े हम कहीं पढ़े, वे विषय की लोच से युक्त हो।
मित्रों हम उठे और जागे,
मंजिल आने की ध्वनि सुने। हम अपना दीपक स्वयं बने, हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने।
जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने, राहों को आलोकित करने।
राष्ट्रीय मुक्त विद्यालय का है द्वार खुला सबकी खातिर। शिक्षा परीक्षा का अवसर एक बार ही क्यों मिलता फिर।
शिक्षा और परीक्षा का अवसर एक बार ही क्यों मिलता